guys, welcome back. We wanted to give you an update on the pursuit of the dream life and also tell you a bit about the Annapolis Boat Show. It's been a couple weeks since the first dream life video, so we'll talk a little more.
Yeah, this is our progress again and the 5 things that we are doing to achieve our dream life in 1 year. We have an awesome update to share with everybody, and it is the Annapolis Boat Show. This is the biggest boat show in the United States. We went to the sailboat component and got to board a ton of catamarans. It was amazing.
Yes.
And we want to share this experience with you as we went along this journey with our kids as well.
Yes. We got to talk to a bunch of different brokers. We got to learn a bunch of stuff. We compared the boats, both the brands, the sizes, got a feel for them. So it was really great education for us in terms of trying to figure out what boat might fit us best.
It was super educational, and we highly recommend going for other people if you have the opportunity.
Yes.
But let's dig into the details of what we want to share and what we found out.
We both have our faves, so we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Walking down Green Street right next to City Dock. It's a beautiful street here in Annapolis. Got a lot of charm. Oh boy, look at all these cats. The general city of Annapolis is a very quaint, kind of a New England-esque type city.
It has a great food scene. It's got a lot of history. I think especially if you're down visiting Washington, D.C., it's great to go up to Annapolis, see all the beautiful older buildings, the architecture, the harbor. It's just fantastic. It's a great vibe there. The show. Oh man, the show. It was the Newport Boat Show times like 10. I don't know. Times 10.
It was quite a lot of people, and it was a big production. It was awesome.
Yes, it was. But despite how crowded it was surprisingly well organized.
Yeah, absolutely.
You did, for certain boats, there was a little bit of a line to wait in to get on, especially the more popular ones, the ones with the special stuff. The special designs and all of that.
Which we'll talk about.
Yes, and there were boats that you had to have an appointment to get on.
Some of them, yeah. Regarding the ones that had long lines, just so some people are aware, the boat show is over the course of a few days in Annapolis, and some days are more busier than others. On the busy days, there are lines, and at the more popular boats, you can expect to be waiting sometimes up to 20 minutes.
Probably 20 minutes. And I would also say with the kids, about half the time they were kind of like, I'm bored, I want to leave. And then the other half of the time they were having a great time. They were on the boats, they were running through the boats, they were kind of like wrestling on the pads that they had on the boats. I
would say when the kids are on the boats, that's when they're having a great time. And they're running around. Well, when you have kids and you bring them on the boat tours, no running on the boat. And you want to have a parent around them at all times.
For sure.
Because there was a couple of times where our kids were doing things they weren't supposed to do, like running, and or some of the staff were trying to get a hold of our kids' parents. Like, where were we at?
Yeah, the kid would we were talking to someone, they would run off. We're crappy parents sometimes. Happens to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, I think that in hindsight, if we could have, maybe we would have called Grandma and said, hey, Grandma, do you think we could go to this thing ourselves? We probably would have learned a little more and been able to talk to a few more people. But I think it was a good time for them. It was a nice trip. It was... Well,
if you think about it, part of our 5 things is to get the kids ready for sailing. I think this is educational for them. They got to see the layout. They got to see a bunch of different models, and they got to really get excited about it. So I wouldn't have the kids go see the grandma, but if the grandma or grandpa was there, and maybe we could, have them watch the kids while we're having, meaningful and important conversations with the brokers and the charter programs, then that would have been definitely helpful. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the boats. So, really fantastic boats from all sizes. I think they had the smallest, might have been in the 38-foot range, and the largest were up to, I think they had like
67?
They had a 67 there. The
Fontaine Peugeot had
FP
a
67. That one you
Massive.
did need to
Oh my
have an
goodness.
appointment to get on.
wow.
But I
I
think
think it's like a
that
floating island.
we really liked. I think we came away that Fountain Peugeot they're very popular here. They're popular with charter programs, and they're an all-around solid boat.
Especially for the price as well.
I think I really liked Leopards. What was your favorite?
Well, if you want to go strictly on favorite, this is not something that we can afford, but this is probably my favorite.
This is the dream boat.
Yeah.
This is the reach.
This is not,
boat.
this is the reach boat. This is not the dream boat.
Yeah,
this will be,
this is-
we win the lottery boat.
Yeah, we live in the lottery boat. Yeah.
So at the Annapolis Boat Show, there was an HH, and we got to go on the 55.
Always great. No, the 50.
It was a
The
50.
55 was at Newport. There was a 50 at
So we went on the 50
Annapolis.
at
Yes.
Annapolis. Now, it wasn't the size that I liked, but I like HH in one regard right now. They are on the frontier of trying to make the technology better. So they have a drive shaft that has a diesel engine that's hooked into it, so you could run the diesel off of it. And they also have a hybrid electrical component. And I think this is amazing in the sense that you could live 100% off the grid. They have a ton of solar panels they're putting on their vessels, and so you can get 4,000 or 6,000 kilowatts of solar, and that will charge your lithium battery bank, and you could solely run your engine drive shafts off the electrical component. Now, if you ever run out of the electrical component, or say the electrical component becomes faulty or it doesn't work, which, you know, a lot of electrical things easily have one little connection and all of a sudden nothing works. Then you have the diesel as backup. Now, the diesels are tried and true. They're a big mechanical beast with big moving parts. It's hard to really have a diesel fail. So I love that security of the diesel, yet completely off the grid of the electrical component and making it a hybrid drive shaft. And that is why I like the HH. Now, I'm sure other brands are going to start coming out with something similar, and I'm waiting for it. And when we were talking to the brokers, they were talking about, yes, they have a lineup of certain hybrid models that are coming out, and they're developing certain technologies on their own brands.
I think also with the HH, the carbon.
Oh, yeah, the HH has a lighter frame and it's built with a carbon-based frame, so that gives it a performance. It's lighter,
Yes.
it's stronger and sturdier, so when you're in, you know, waves that are kind of rocking you, there's a little less creaking and movement. The boat is more stiff and rigid, which is what you want in a performance vessel.
And it'll go faster too.
Absolutely.
You're outrunning pirates. That's important.
Yeah, right.
Because we plan to do that.
No, I mean, imagine if you're in the middle of the ocean and you're in like a pirate zone and there's no wind and you're just sitting there and you got your sails up and you're like, all right, well, we'll turn the diesels on, but you only have so many days of diesel. And say there's like a week-long spell of no wind. When you have your solar panel and your hybrid engine, you turn the solars on, you're running 75% speed so that you can reserve some of the lithium battery bank while you charge as you get out of, you know, a pirate zone in the middle of the ocean when there's no wind. I think it's a safety feature to be able to have unlimited, you know, off the grid capability with a hybrid engine and a lot of solar power.
Yes, agree.
So here we are at a fairly famous tavern in Georgetown, Martin's Tavern. This is where John F. Kennedy proposed to Jackie O. So hopefully dinner's going to be excellent tonight. We're meeting up with a friend of ours, and they have a new baby.
So my favorite boat, and I'm gonna get some hate for this, which I don't mind. Hate all you want. My favorite
I'm
boat.
curious, what was your favorite boat?
My favorite boat was the Bali. I'm sorry,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was. So
Yeah.
I really like the design. I like the garage door, how it can shut. I love the full size fridge. I mean, come on, full size fridge. And I like that the front, the foredeck is closed. It felt safer. It felt like you had a lot more room on the boat, having the front be usable space rather than a trampoline. However, we have been told that that may or may not be an engineering flaw.
So,
and if anyone wants to comment on that, on the solid foredeck being an engineering flaw or it not being an engineering flaw, please comment.
So just to back up real quick, the foredeck, all the catamaran models have it open with a net. And that enables when you're hitting the waves that the pressure buildup between the two holes has a little vent space in the front where there's these nets are. If you have a totally enclosed foredeck, then it's more closed off. And so when the waves come up under the boat, it has to vent more lengthwise. They're venting out this way. But with the foredeck, when there's a net there, it has a little bit of escape hatch to come up out of the front. So people say that the area of the netting is important, especially if you want performance. But the Bali has that completely closed off. However, if you look at other models, some of their models have very small little netted areas that are not going to be contributing a significant amount of pressure release. Unlike, the HH has a monster, like a really deep net. So all that pressure underneath the hole just easily gets out.
Yes. So and also the boom is apparently very high, so it's difficult to get to if you need to get
on the
to
Bali.
Yes, on the Bali.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bummer. I was really hoping that maybe somebody or a resource or something would have answers to this or something to say in favor of the Balis, but another disconcerting flaw would be that it's interesting that there's only one charter company that will take Balis, which I think is pretty telling. I'm not sure because of a quality thing or because of the engineering thing or because of what, but I think that is fairly telling.
I mean, the one charter company that does do the Bali is very successful, and it's been successful, and so that's one thing it does have going for it in its favor, though.
That's true.
So
yes, so please comment about the Bali's good or bad. But yeah.
When you're going to Annapolis and you're so close to Washington, D.C., we made a trip to Washington, D.C. out of it.
Yes.
And it was so good to see Washington, D.C., to show our kids, the monuments, the mall down there, the Capitol. And we have a video of us exploring the area and seeing some of the sites, and we're going to share that with everyone as well. And we also went to Mount Vernon, George Washington's estate in Mount Vernon. We loved that. We have video footage of the tour. It was amazing. They have such interesting facts to share about George Washington's life and the United States history and what kind of a person he was and his family. And the kids just loved running around the estates. It was amazing. So we really hope you enjoy some of the footage of George Washington's estate at Mount Vernon.
Yes. So please like and subscribe.
Is that the right side? Or is it that side?
I don't know. I don't know what side it is.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. So
We'll correct that next time.
encourage our noob adventures, and we hope to see you in the next video.
All right.
Have a good one.